waste seed today? How do you know wasted seed? That's something you're doing in secret. You're ashamed of yourself after you waste seed. There's not a person in the world that's proud of wasting seed. Even the goyim. It's a natural feeling to be like ashamed. It's a natural feeling. So tell them, why you waste seed? You know what you're doing? You're wasting seed. You know what it says in the Gemara when you're wasting seed? I give you, it's actually in Gemara Shabbat. Gemara Shabbat, the second one. Gemara Shabbat, second one. Relevant to this parasha. Relevant to this parasha. It says, Gemara and Shabbat. Gemara and Shabbat. Gemara and Shabbat. Let's get to Gemara and Shabbat. It says this. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, כל האוחז באמה ומסתין כאילו מביא מבול לעולם. Whoever holds his male member while urinating is considered as if he's bringing on the mabul to the world. Says when you go and urinate, if you're holding your male member, for those who don't know, that means penis. We have to be clear these days. What can we do? Excuse my language. It's a normal term. It's not a foul or a derogatory term, but you have to be clear these days. When a man goes to the bathroom, Chazal says you're not allowed to touch it. That's why the Hasidim, by the way, they have these special underwear. It's like a boxer short, big boxer short, and they position their male member into the hole. They don't touch at all. That gets a little training to do. But point is, you could also sit down. There's logistical, it's not that difficult, put it that way. It's not that difficult. But Rabbi Eliezer Omer says someone that actually holds their member when they're going to urinate. He's not even talking about wasting seed. So you usually go and urinating, something you do 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 times a day. Says you're holding your male member, you're bringing the mabul. Why are you bringing the mabul? Because what do you think made the guy think about going waste seed? What made the guy so comfortable with actually doing such a thing? Because to Avraham Avinu, to a ish kadosh, his male member and his finger, same thing. This is kadosh, that's kadosh. Just like I'm not going to violate my finger and put it into fire, I'm not going to violate my brit and put that into fire. I'm not going to waste seed, violate the Torah in the biggest sin in the world. Chas v'shalom. What gets a person to a level of comfort where he feels okay to touch himself? Chazal says, well, he goes to urinates and he touches himself then. And he gets comfortable with it. This is a problem already. Why? Because as soon as he has Yetzirah go inside, it continues and it becomes much worse. He brings the Mabul. Why brings the Mabul? That's what the parasha says. Parasha says Hashem was willing to accept all sins. They did this, they did this, they did this. They did all types of sins. They did all types of sins. When did they break the camel's back? They broke the camel's back when they started wasting seed. The world became corrupt. The biggest sin was not just the stealing that people thought. People think the Pshat says they were stealing. The Pshat they were stealing. But it actually is stealing neshamot, stealing the fortune of others. So where we know it, when Hashem Yitbarach gave the 7 laws of Noach to Noach. So one of the initial ones is to give him the mitzvah of do not murder. But in the mitzvah of do not murder, we learn about wasting seed, how it's a big sin both for Jews and non-Jews. So in the Parashat Noach, chapter 9, verse 6, Hashem Yitbarach says to Noach, Shofech dam ha'adam ba'adam damo yishaper ki b'tzelem Elohim asa et ha'adam. So this, I've gone over this verse in the past, and I'll give you guys a chidush about it. So verse 6, it says, someone who spills the blood of a man within a man, his blood will be spilled. So the blood of a man, we know that's regular blood. But the blood of a man within a man, that's seed. That's seed. So we see it literally in Hebrew talking about seed. So someone that wastes seed, his blood will be spilled because in the image of God, Hashem created man. So now, why is this the stealing that Hashem Yitbarach was referring to? Why is this the corruption that Hashem Yitbarach was talking to? Because the very following verse, verse 7, after he says, don't spill seed, because that's considered murder, what's the purpose of you even having seed? What's the purpose of you even having a body, according to the Rambam? Purbu. That's what the next mitzvah is. It says, V'atem purbu shirtzu ba'aretz urbu ba. It says, in you, be fruitful and multiply. Teem on the earth and multiply on it. Right after he says, don't waste seed, he says, go and use that seed to bring children to the world. Meaning that the corruption, the stealing that he's talking about was not stealing $5 from Tzvika and Shmuli. You're stealing the fortune of the neshamot that have been sitting in Shamayim and want to come to earth. You're stealing their fortune. Why are you wasting them? You're killing them. That's why you're supposed to not waste it and actually use it. So that's why those two are connected. That's the chidush. So now, when a person wants to run away from such a sin, wants to run away from such a horrible sin, it's very critical for them to do a couple of things. Number one, they have to continuously learn about the subject. They have to learn about the significance of the sin. Why it's so bad to waste seed. There's a 3.5-hour shiur we did in New York that every person, every guy, whether they have this problem or not, should watch that shiur at least once a month. It's mamash an overview of everything. Then there's about at least a handful or half a dozen or so different short clips, just like we did now, about the subject. Watch those. Again, all of them at least once a month. That's one. Two, you have to train your eyes to stop looking where they don't belong. Because your eyes, it says in mitzvah of tzitzit, don't follow the things of your heart and the things of your eyes. Why your eyes? Because what you see is what you can end up thinking about when you go to sleep. It's what you can end up thinking about when you pray. It's what you're going to think about when you're with your wife, if you're married. So don't look where you don't belong. You have to watch your eyes. That's number two. We already covered that. Number three, what's the chidush? Number three is we listen to this Gemara in Shabbat. We have to start training ourselves to not only not touch our body as often as we do, as comfortably as we do, but mamash get to a point where you don't even look there. Now I know this sounds, to most guys, this sounds like I'm expecting you guys to be Rebbe, to be Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. It's not that hard. Not that hard. You get used to it. It's hard in the beginning. But it's not as hard as your Yetzirah is telling you right now. Yetzirah right now is telling you, this guy's expecting us to be Kriyat Yamsuf, Moshe Rabbeinu, Yeshua ben Nun, Nachshon ben Aminadav, Yaakov Avinu, all together. No, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And the reason why I'm telling you is because the less comfortable you are with your own body, the more holy you're making it. The more holy you make it, less likely you are to violate it. So, one thing is, that's easy, piece of cake. From now on, when you go to the bathroom, regardless of one or two, sit down. Regardless of whether it's one or two, sit down. That already eliminates the issue of holding the member or not member. And again, this is mechilaf mikvotchem, but this is a reality issue. This is an issue that needs to be talked about. So, sit down. Two, try to do whatever you can not to touch your member directly. Three, only look if it's necessary. It's really not that necessary to look. It really isn't. Only look if it's necessary. As far as you think this is from you, lo b'shamayimi. And I promise you that when eventually you're with your wife, eventually when you're using it for whatever pleasure you want to use it for with your wife, everything is even better than you thought. It's still there. It doesn't run away because you didn't look at it. It still works. Everything is there. Everything is wonderful. It's even better. It's even better. But that's the thing. This Gemara, this Parasha, this Mishnah, it all connects. How? It's Hashem Yitbarach. Point being is that somebody needed to hear it, and that's why Hashem said, because this was definitely not part of the Shiur.